BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top traders. If you sign up with the link in the description, you get a free $100 when you deposit $100. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at the rest of the world before we start to dive into cryptocurrency, obviously. So it's going to be a kind of a strange week. We got, American Independence Day and stuff like that. So there's going to be some holidays across the board. For American markets, it's going to impact global markets. So we'll start with the euro dollar first of all. Still within this, it's a symmetrical triangle, isn't it, really, on the daily? We've got the Bollinger Center on the daily more or less holding as a support. We're getting quite close to the end of the apex. We're getting a rejection so far along this descending trend line. There is no pump, I believe, signal that was generated, or was there? Yeah, there was actually. Okay, so that is interesting. It's a strange kind of way that it was generated. So we've just got a portion of the cloud went green over here, but all other components were already available. So there is a pump signal here. So there is chance now to see a decent reaction from towards the bottom of this trend. We've already hit that more or less front run ever so slightly. So we've got 50 exponential sitting down here at 108.5. The Bollinger Center 108.6. So to be fair, there is enough evidence to suggest a breakout of this range here. So it's a 50-50 formation. Pump signals in play. Momentum is dwindling down, but we are above the 0 point over here. So that the daily actually looks okay for that. Recognize it is a daily that we're trying to focus on there, nothing more than that. Two drives of bullish divergence on this last stage down. Golden Cross was respected here on the exponentials. Hasn't actually hit this one down here, which would have been a simple moving average. So I suppose all of this area is kind of fair game, really, to expect a bounce from. We might not even get back down to that level. We might just break out before. So the euro looks actually okay on the higher term time frames for some kind of move there. So that's okay. Do we have the inverse taking place over here on the Dixie? So the correlation is not quite as amazing as it used to be for the euro dollar. The euro being the main driver. Again, it still is, but other components are at play here. So actually, we've got a relatively bullish setup, to be honest, on the Dixie as well. So that's going to be an interesting scenario for it to resolve. In all fairness, so we'll keep our eyes peeled on that. Not really sure how to think about all of that. And that's basically all we're going to bother looking at here. We'll have a look at gold, actually. So gold, yeah, rejection on the 10 exponential. So any more opportunities to buy would be just below 1900. Best try to catch a decent bounce would be if we broke down a little further, 1863. Right, so that's that then. Let's move away to Bitcoin, because I suppose the traditional markets, Forex and gold, is not particularly interesting. And again, American markets are not likely to wake up until later on this week, to be fair. So let's have a look at Ethereum to begin with. So Ethereum's generated on the daily now. Actually, it's not quite kicked in yet. We need this closure of this candle body to close above the cloud. That'll give us a pump signal on the Ichi cloud here. We do have the V-shaped recovery now that we can see clear as day on the Golden Cross retest. So that's pretty nice to see. Money flow index is quite high. So on the first pass, if we do generate this pump signal, we do pump over the next few days, next week or so, because again, this is a daily we're looking at, then we would like to see a reset of this, because it's quite a high read. It's not the highest it's ever been, but it's getting quite close to breaking out of the comfort zone, which would be I suppose you can see aggressive moves up on that one, but then you'll probably have to consolidate after that, and that's fine. We can break out and move up to any one of these areas. First one I would target would be around 2,400. This is after closures above 2,000, and then so long as we consolidate and remain above 2,000, I reckon we're good for continuation. To be fair. For the moment, though, we're still waiting for that closure above here. And again, the closure above here with a pump signal would be perfect. Let's have a look at the 4 hourly to see what that's saying. So yeah, there's another Golden Cross retest here as well. So of both simples and to exponentials with a V-shaped recovery on a 4 hourly time frame. So that looks good as well. So yeah, I'm more than optimistic about the way that this is going to move. I expect it to break above 2,000 and probably make its way up to 2,400 now. Bitcoin can kind of do what it wants, really, if Ethereum looks that good. But in all fairness, Bitcoin has done a similar thing. So we consolidated here, consolidated momentum, broke out momentum, retested it as support, and sort of meandering up, waiting, hoping for a breakout. In all fairness, MACD above the 0 points, so every chance of a move up will have continuation on there. Continuation from here takes us to a new high, I would say, and above that 32. Things above 32 for Bitcoin will probably get quite aggressive quite quickly because it's like a major area of support stroke resistance. So breaking above there would be pretty sweet, and you could probably target areas up towards 38. So extension of this entire rally. So that's good. So we've got Bitcoin's looking pretty good. Ethereum's looking pretty good. More or less over the last week or so, the analysis hasn't really changed. We've seen baby steps. We've not really seen the confirmation for Ethereum that we want, which is, again, just to reiterate, $2,000 or higher closure with a pump signal kicker, with a move that will take us to 2,400, and that will carry other altcoins with us. That's just the nature of how it works. Because the total 2, which is going to be the overall driver of altcoins, generally speaking, mostly top caps, which we've already seen these old school dinosaur coins, ripping it up. So we've got Ethereum's not quite done it yet, but we have Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV. We've had in the past, it feels like ages ago now, but we've had XRP running, we had XLM running, the Chainlink had a little run, so we've had a lot of even EOS had a little run and outperformed a lot of these smaller cap, cool coins, stuff like, even stuff like Matic, which is not a small cap anymore, but you know what I mean. So the old school dinosaur coins seem to be having their first push, and that is how the previous bull market ran, to be honest with you, back in 2019. That's how it worked. It's not perfect. Obviously, everything is different. It's still quite a young market, so you can't really look at it and go, well, it's exactly the same. It's not exactly the same, but this does feel familiar, to be honest with you, where the top caps run, filtered down to the mid caps, small caps, and maybe even, the absolute piles of steaming turds will run towards the end. So interesting behavior taking place in the altcoin market, and relatively optimistic about how that's going to work out. But remember, let's wind our necks back in. Just remember, Ethereum above 2,000 with a pump signal. That is going to be good, and we'll see things like total 2, which has now reclaimed all of its major moving averages on this daily, which again, we were looking at nothing more than a death cross retest, to be fair. Today we're creeping above it. You can only imagine how good this would look if Ethereum does have that little rally and takes altcoins with it. You'll see this move up, and hopefully at that point then start to build a bullish scenario with moving averages crossing into the appropriate places. And that will basically give us a trend for altcoins, really. So they're just an altcoin scenario. You can call it an alt season if you like. I suppose it would be appropriate to say that. But I don't want anyone to confuse what this alt season would look like. This alt season might generate 100%, maybe more, maybe less, but it's not going to generate 10,000%. It's not going to be one of those. But it could be pretty sweet, in all fairness. Right, there's nothing much more to say about all of this, really. Again, it's going to be a bit of a strange week with the American holidays and stuff like that. So just stick to the same analysis, which is what's been here since last week, really. It's like a broken record, but that's unfortunately how it can be sometimes. You're waiting for the break to happen one way or another, and especially if you chart things on a daily and a 4-hourly like myself. So sit back, watch and wait, leave it to do its thing. I've got confidence in the market. Things are looking quite good. I've got some bots running as well. There's even if you want to set bots up as well, there's a link for Bitsgap. They're doing a 30% off because of American Independence Day. So you can get yourself a 12-month plan with 30% off, which is pretty decent. If you want to know more about that, there's links. I'll leave a link above here where you can see me using bots. In fact, on my channel, my YouTube channel, there's a whole tutorial about using a variety of different types of bots. There's a lot of information on my channel playlist for bots, so have a look at that as well. So I'll leave it with you there. Thank you for watching. Let's remain optimistic and hopeful about this market and how it appears on face value. Take it easy.